My name is Mary Bentley, and I have served as an ICU registered nurse for 37 years. As healthcare workers, we are used to being on the front lines, but with the novel coronavirus, we are experiencing numerous novel challenges and novel changes. Coping with all that is going on can be really strenuous at times. In this video, I will introduce you to a novel coping technique called Logosynthesis. This video will be the introduction, and you can refer to video 2 or 3 for the exercise and experience. This Logosynthesis exercise can assist you in your own coping while you are yet making sacrifices and giving extraordinary care. The demands of our profession are extremely high right now. As healthcare workers, we are climbing mountains together. The novel factors of COVID-19 are requiring new and novel protocols, novel thinking, and new levels of energy. We will continue to serve, and I am confident that in the end, we will have much to celebrate. Normally, we are masters at coping. It is an interesting time where many of our normal coping strategies are limited. But we are an adaptive crew, and so we will find new ways to cope. My greatest hopes are that healing will soon dominate our profession again, and that we will reap heightened levels of personal and professional discovery as we learn to cope and heal among the challenges of Corona. I want to introduce Logosynthesis to you as a novel approach to coping and stress management. Video 2 and 3 in this series will guide you through an 8-minute logosynthesis exercise that will help you to recover and at a deeper level after a difficult work or personal day. It can restore your energy in the moment and can safeguard against the accumulative and delayed effects of trauma. In Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's book, The Body Keeps Score, he talks about how we can hold on to experiences for a long time, storing them as suffering in the body. These experiences can resurface at seemingly spontaneous and unpredictable times, in the form of physical and emotional suffering. Logosynthesis can help you to remove that suffering by using it as a self-coaching tool for coping and healing, and a gift to yourself on a day-to-day basis. This video, Video 1, will give you instructions as to how to use video 2 and 3. You can refer back to this video as a reference guide as needed. I hope this logosynthesis exercise will prove to be helpful to you, as logosynthesis has proven to be helpful to me. Logosynthesis was developed by Dr. Willem Lammers, a brilliant psychotherapist in Switzerland, a 45-year professional in his field of psychology, and my mentor and instructor. From my first experience with logosynthesis, it made an impression upon me because, without any training at all, I relieved myself of travel sickness. I have since been on 10 flights and have not become ill once, which was amazing for me. That was the beginning of my journey with logosynthesis. I have since experienced logosynthesis in coaching practices as a simple and powerful developmental tool which helps to resolve performance and emotional blocks. Logosynthesis works to relieve these blocks which cause us to suffer. When suffering is relieved, our energy is renewed. With blocks now gone and additional energy now available, our ability to perform improves, and most importantly, we are then able to put that energy, which is now more energy, towards our life's mission. Logosynthesis provides a framework whereby you can identify and quickly release images or autos that block your energy. As a matter of example and discussion, as healthcare workers, we are familiar with alarm fatigue and how it can wear down our response times while at work. But have you ever taken alarms home with you in your head, there to repeat and threaten a full recovery from stress? Have you ever held on to the overwhelm after you have clocked out? How can you stop an exhausting movie from replaying over and over in your head again and again after an intense day? How can you be fresh for tomorrow if you hold on to today? A person's energy can get stuck in images and audios from these kind of days. Simply through the power of words, Logosynthesis can help you to remove blocks and irritants and retrieve the energy that is stuck. Logosynthesis is a very unique process in that you can self-coach your way through the process, or you can be coached through the process by a certified practitioner, which provides a yet deeper experience for you. In video 2 and 3, you will be guided through the most basic of the Logosynthesis self-coaching protocols. You will be prompted to individualize your experience by inserting a personal image or audio that causes you to stress. In Logosynthesis, images and audios are termed as triggers. Finding the trigger and individualizing it from your own experience is the most important and powerful part of this Logosynthesis exercise. In order to further assist you in this process, I will list some example triggers that are universal to healthcare providers from all around the world at this time of COVID-19. Much of this list was created through a conversation between a physician in Scotland and one of my colleagues, Steve Quinn, who is an executive coach in Scotland. You can adapt any of these trigger examples below according to your own situation and needs. Here's the how-to in using the recordings. At the beginning of the protocol on videos 2 and 3, you will need to determine 2 things. 1, an image or an audio, and 2, a distress number. First, I will direct you to identify an image or an audio from your workday or your personal day. In Logosynthesis, we refer to this as the trigger. In order to find the trigger, simply observe in your mind a movie rerun of your day and identify an image or an audio that felt stressful or bothersome to you at that time, or one that adds to your feeling of tension right now. This will be something you want to let go of, and this is the trigger. Pick out one aspect of the situation and label it with simple words. This should be a tangible aspect of the memory, as in something you can see or hear. For instance, if you are thinking about an interaction with a patient that was bothersome in some way, simplify the scene down to one factor within that scene, like their voice or their facial expression, and then label it with a few words like the sound of her voice, or the look on her face, or simply that patient. The label is just for you, and you know the totality of what the words represent in your movie, so it really doesn't matter how you label the trigger. Just keep it simple. In video 2 and 3, you'll be guided to insert this labeled trigger into the sentences at the appropriate times. Number 2, prior to starting the exercise, you will need to determine a distress number. This 0 to 10 distress number is similar to the pain scale that we use at the bedside, but in this case, you are combining your physical and emotional levels of distress to determine this number. Ask yourself, how am I reacting to this image or audio? How am I reacting in my body? How am I reacting emotionally? What is the overall intensity of this combined distress right now? Then assign a number to these combined sensations on a scale of 0 to 10. It doesn't matter what number you choose. Just like the pain scale, this number will be used for the simple sake of comparison of your combined physical and emotional reactions before and after this exercise. As an example, say your stomach is upset, and emotionally you feel quite sad when you think of this image or audio. So you put a total score of 8 to your overall reaction. Note this number in your mind, and then you can use it as a comparison after the protocol is completed on video 2 or 3. At the beginning of video 2 and 3, you'll be guided through this process of finding your label and your distress number. After you determine your label, you may want to write that down. But other than that, don't try to capture any thoughts in writing during this exercise, or at least until after all 3 sentences are completed. Writing and thinking are not required of you here. Your essence and spirit will do the work for you, and processing naturally continues even after the exercise is completed. I can best express this simply as, you will feel change. After the completion of all 3 sentences, compare your pre- and post-distress numbers. If your distress number is still above a 2, I would recommend repeating the sentences. Following are examples of triggers that could be used in the sentences. These triggers are listed below. Triggers are things that can be seen or heard. Emotions are not used in the sentences because they are transitory. Emotion, not used in the sentences. Fear of exposing family members. Trigger example, my foot stepping into our home after work, which is an image. Emotion, not used in the sentences. Concerns over PPE availability. Trigger example, the statistics posted in the newspapers. This is an image of written words. Emotion about, not used in sentences. Extended wear PPE. Trigger example, the paper bag, which is an image. Emotion, not used in sentences. Fear of going on shift as things are so unpredictable. Trigger example, the sounds of alarms as I walk onto the floor, which is an audio. Emotions raised, not used in sentences. Keeping relatives away from dying patients. Trigger example, the patient's wife's voice on the phone, which is an audio. Emotions raised, not used in sentences. Disconnection from patients with distancing. Trigger example, looking at the patient through the glass, which is an image. Emotions raised, not used in sentences. Economic consequences for family members and community. Trigger example, his weeping, which is an audio, or my neighbor's face when he told me ... which is an image. Emotion, not used in sentences. Anxiety with one's own breathing. Trigger example, this mask on my face, which is an image. Triggers can also be anything that is causing you physical pain, and phrases such as these can be inserted into the sentences. This headache, or these aching feet, or this pain in my back, which I'm sure many of us have experienced after a long shift. It is recommended that you do not use my headache or my aching feet in the sentences, as initial ownership of these pains is not desirable. It's easier to let go of something that doesn't belong to you. I sincerely hope that these video presentations and self-coaching exercises will bless you in this unique time of great need and great stretching. Thank you for the service you render around the world. If you are interested in learning more about logosynthesis, Dr. Willem Lammers has written several books explaining his theory and methods, and they are all available on Amazon. If you are interested in learning more about self-coaching and logosynthesis, I would recommend Letting It Go by Laurie Weiss, also available on Amazon. If you are interested in more information, or if you would like to do some coaching with a certified logosynthesis practitioner, you can go to logosynthesis.international or logosynthesis.net for more information. Most practitioners reside in Europe, but they all work online on Zoom. Your questions and feedback are welcome. God bless you in your service and life mission. Please feel free to contact me at mbentley.lg@gmail.com. Please put LOGO in the subject line. I reap no financial benefits from the sales of these books and only hope that these resources will bless your life as they have mine. Have a great day.